guys, it's Steven from Frachelli. Happy holidays and welcome to my kitchen. It may look pretty casual today, like we just rolled out of bed, and that's because we did. It's Sunday morning, we're going to make a delicious omelet. Today's omelet's going to have pancetta, mushrooms, and shredded mozzarella. We're going to teach you how to make it diner stylish. It's very easy at home, it's going to come out delicious, I promise. Camerawoman Courtney, you ready to start cooking? I've tried making omelets 25 different ways. I found the best, for me at least, is with a 6-inch nonstick pan, and this is good for a 2-egg omelet, which we're gonna make. So we're gonna go put some heat on this. I've also done and prepped everything so it's ready to go, so we're not running around all the kitchen. So I chopped up the sliced mushrooms into smaller bits. I got the shredded mozzarella, 2 eggs, the pancetta, plate, salt, pepper, and some milk. Eggs cook really quickly, so we don't want to be cooking things inside the omelet as we're making it. So the first step, we're actually going to put the pancetta in. What's nice about pancetta is if you get it nicely thin sliced, it cooks up really quickly. I love bacon with eggs as well, but it does take a long time to make. This is so quick, it cooks right up. Also, the thin bites are very easy to eat inside the omelet. You don't have to chew through it, it all cuts up nicely. Our pan is nice and hot. We're gonna go ahead and throw the pancetta in. You don't need to put anything on the pan. Pancetta is virtually Italian bacon. It's got its own grease, it cooks in it. Let that cook up. It's gonna cook just in a couple of minutes really quickly. So I wasn't kidding, folks, this does cook really quickly and it does shrivel up a bit. Just go ahead and make sure those are nice and crispy. They will cook a little bit in the eggs, but you basically want it to be cooked. And cook it to your desired crispiness, just like bacon. If you want it really crispy, make it crispy. If you want a little chewier, leave it a little chewier. We're gonna just cook it a little bit in between. Likewise, we're gonna cook the mushrooms a little bit before we throw them in the omelet. For the mushrooms, or any vegetable you're throwing in for that matter, you just really want to take the rawness out of it. So there's some grease left in the pan from the pancetta, so I'm not going to throw any other oils or butter in there. I'm just going to toss the mushrooms in and just let them cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. So just letting it coat in that little bit of pancetta grease, and just got this on a low, medium heat, and just going to, again, take the rawness out of them, just get them livened up a little bit. You don't have to cook them. If you were a fan of the HBO series Watchmen, you know you need to break a few eggs to make an omelet, and that's the stage we're at now. So quick tip, when you're actually cracking the eggs, don't crack it in the bowl you're making it in, because pieces of the shell could break in there and it's very hard to scoop it out of the eggs. It's like gelatinous from the egg whites. So I'm just gonna use the side of the counter here and light tap and use 2 hands, and we have no shells in there. All right, that worked. We have both eggs cracked into the bowl. We have both the egg white and the yolk, so we're gonna use the whole mixture here. So what I'm also gonna do is just add just a little splash of milk. So now with the milk's in there, again, just a splash, I'm gonna put a little bit of salt. So before I put it in, I'm just gonna explain it a little bit here. So the pancetta and the cheese are both salty, so you don't need a lot of salt to taste, but it is recommended to put a little salt in the egg mixture because it does help break down the protein in the egg and give you a nice smooth mixture. So what I'm gonna do is just do a light crack of salt just for that purpose mainly. And I don't have a whisk with me here, but we're just gonna use a fork, but you really wanna beat the heck out of the eggs. The real reason is because you want a very consistent mixture. You don't want chunks of the yolk and then runny parts of the egg whites. So definitely give it a really good stir. If it really starts to bubble up, then it's definitely done. So you don't want to like aerate it, but you do want it a nice consistent mixture. You get the idea of how I'm doing it here, pretty vigorously, but a nice mixture. And then our eggs will be ready to go. Putting the heat back on the frying pan. I did not clean the frying pan, so this is really a preference thing. If you want a very yellow, clean outside of the omelet, definitely wipe it down. I don't mind it having a little bit of brown on the outside, and also I think it takes in some of the flavors from the outside of the pancetta juice and the mushrooms when we made it before. But I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of butter in here. The butter is gonna make it creamy and fluffy with the eggs. You can use Pam if you want things to be a little healthier. The butter is gonna be the tastier. And we're just gonna melt down a nice even coating. Again, about a teaspoon of butter there. So I'm gonna give the egg mixture a final stir. And as I mentioned earlier, I used a splash of milk. I used 2%. If you want really fluffy eggs, you could add whole milk, cream, or even sour cream. I'm wanting this a little bit on the lighter side, so just a splash of 2% I find works really well too. So the butter's all melted, and now we're gonna go ahead and pour in the egg mixture. So this is important. You want it at a low to medium heat because we don't want the eggs to just burn and cook really, really quickly. And it's also important to mix it around a little bit while it's cooking. Reason being, we want a nice even layer of eggs. Also, the eggs that are on the bottom close to the pan are going to cook a lot quicker than the rest of the mixture, which is sitting on top. So you want to give that a little bit of a mix, and that will allow a nice and even cooking of the eggs and a very proper omelet. So let's give that another little stir. So stir for about a minute. Now when it's starting to get more solid on the bottom, we're ready to start putting things in. I'm gonna put the cheese in first because this is the only ingredient that actually needs to melt or cook. And this is mozzarella cheese, which is a little bit of a harder cheese. For omelets, you could also try Swiss or goat cheese. The soft cheese works really well. I think this cheese just goes great with this combination, so that's what we're using here. Toss in a little bit of the mushrooms. And what I'm doing also is just leaving a little bit of a divider between the toppings and the cheese, so it's easy to flip this over when we're ready. Throw in a few pieces of the pancetta. Pancetta is pretty strong like bacon, so we don't need to overdo it. Then we're just gonna let this cook for just a slight bit more. Now there is a bit of preference in this stage because some people like their eggs a little runnier, some like them well cooked. I like it when it's a little brown on the outside, kind of diner style, and that's how we're gonna make these. So let's go ahead. So I have a very thin spatula here, and I'm gonna flip it from the the cheese side, so that the cheese pretty much sticks to the side here. We don't have to worry about things flopping over. So let me get under it here. Now you want to do this very carefully so you don't break it. I'm using my finger a little bit, just be careful, it is hot. And get really under it. Then once we're under it, we're going to gently flip this over. I might need to pull this a little bit. Just be careful, it is hot. And then use the spatula to roll it over. Oh, and look at that, we have a nice, very even omelet. You'll let that cook for just 20 seconds or so if you want, depending on how well done you want it. I think this is looking pretty great as is. So now for the final step, I'm gonna very carefully scoop under the omelet. And with the butter, it'll slide off pretty easily. We just wanna guide it so we don't break it or lose it. And there we go, tuck that there so it's all nice. And then you could also play with it a little bit. I'm gonna turn the heat off and just mold it a little bit. I also saw a technique with one pro chef where he took a clean towel over it and moved it so he didn't burn his hands. Then we're just gonna go ahead and clean the plate up just a little bit so it looks nice and presentable. And totally not necessary, but this is TV, so we're gonna put a little sprig of parsley for decoration and garnish. So here we have the final product, a beautiful omelet with pancetta, mushrooms, and mozzarella cheese. Very easy to make at home, just follow the steps. If you do make the recipe, please comment and let us know how yours came out. Please like and subscribe to the videos. We are a new channel here, but most of all, just want to say thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays again, and see you guys next time.